redesign.
Yeah.
I'm going to start by saying I love the new redesign. I'm looking at like side by side the redesign and the old one, and like there's something about like a clean black and white aesthetic that's just so sexy. Like I kind of regret not doing that with mine.
You know what? It is very basic, but then you look at the results and you're like, well, no wonder every company kind of does this shit now.
Yeah, it's like the minimalist, isn't it? The minimalist is key. Like being absorbed into meta next or something, which I actually have like comments on that this today. I think this is why I'm so frustrated. I think you've actually picked me on a good day. I think because I'm frustrated as hell. It's like Friday night. I'm tired as
technically that's kind of the MO of this podcast, but I mean at the same time, since the hashtag not dead yet relaunch, we are we just keep things super chill here.
We
now.
are just two buddies.
We don't
having a drink.
There's no rules to this podcast anymore. Just say what the fuck you want.
Is there any rules to any podcast? I feel like podcast is such a loose medium.
Well,
loose and sloppy. Just
the podcast medium's weird because some people will be like, "Yeah, we just fucking do what we want," but then there are ones where it is very regimented.
Yeah,
which is what I feel like the one was, and I guess people like that. But at the same time, I enjoyed the episodes we did. But then it was like, well,
we try to be regimented as much as we can, but it's like it's again with schedules. It's like, oh shit, I can't actually stick to that 2-week schedule that I said I was going to. Probably should never have agreed to that in the first place. Whoops.
Yeah. I mean, this is why, if anyone's listening right now, this is why this one kind of fell by the wayside because I was too focused on the Bear Hug Club. This isn't our paid job, guys. We do this basically for nothing.
You need to put out.
But we do it for nothing.
You need to put out one episode every hour of every day until you die behind this microphone, Greg.
Basically, yeah. That's kind of to live by the podcast is to die by the podcast. Yeah.
It's a code. It's like a pirate code. It's like the parlay thing in Pirates of the Caribbean. You've got to 24/7 streaming. The thing is, I'm actually impressed because you guys stream as well. Like I've not got this is.
Oh, we don't stream enough. I mean, we stream the live recording, but well, New Year we're going to be just doing straight up streams.
Well,
hopefully.
I mean,
I need a better setup.
I like watching
this laptop. This laptop's great. It serves me well, but yeah, I need to evolve.
You need a big boy podcast setup. I think we all do. We were literally chatting about that right before getting on mic. Actually, yeah, I think that's the dream, isn't it? I'm just gonna start saving until I can get my full room, my studio apartment. That's just dedicated to my podcasting life.
Oh, Mr. Moneybags.
Mr. Moneybags. Oh, I'm gonna start throwing dollar bills at you, which would be weird because we're in England.
Do I have to take off my clothes and go around a pole?
You don't have to, but I know you want to. So, I mean, you
just find a random Polish guy in the street and say, stand still.
We organized this. Like, you texted me to bring the pole. It's in my car right now. So, if you don't want, if you're reneging on this, I'm going to go home right fucking now, mate. This is why the camera's on. This is we're doing like this is our Voyager into OnlyFans, okay?
I did invite you over here with the pretense being, and I was going to grab your ass and we were just going to roll around.
Yeah, I mean, my ass is here. I've not seen any rolling yet. I've got nice gentle squeeze.
You got to start gentle,
and then you work your way up.
It's basically like swimming. You've got to feel the waters. You got to test the waters.
Dip your toe
and
in first.
And when you know you can, you just go hell for leather. You start with doggy paddle, and then you just chop that motherfucker.
Oh, it's going to be a fun night, boys. Everyone, make sure you're watching on Young Men Yell at OnlyFans. Yeah, man, I'm here for it. I'm so excited. Thing is, I was grumpy as fuck before you. I was texting you. How mad was I? Like 11 o'clock. Yeah. I was like, I'm done.
I'm very good at just being like, well, because I'm also a shielder. It's like, you know, dude, if you need your 90 yourself, you do it. But then at the same time, I'm just like, but then this.
Well, I mean, if a child fully broke a toilet in front of me today, so that was the thing. Like, I was walking along the corridor. I was like fifth period. I had a free. And all I heard was this absolute thud from the girls' toilets. And I was like, fuck, I don't even want to know. I don't want to have to deal with this bullshit. It's like 3 o'clock. I'm going home in half an hour. Don't do this to me for the love of Christ.
Did they just drop a massive log?
They just had the biggest shit. And 2 girls run out saying, shit, it wasn't me. And I was like, what is going on? Like, what is happening? They had stood on the toilet and somehow like broke the seat and it just like crashed through and there was just a cracked seat. I was like, well, I'm not equipped to do this. I'm a fucking... First of all, just for context, I'm a supply teacher. I do not go to this school. Please do not do this to me. I'm here for like 3 weeks and then I'm fucking off. I don't need this kind of bullshit. But yeah, just absolute chaos. And come on a Friday, pick your date better, man. Like, I'm going home soon. Don't need this right now. But why were they standing on the toilet anyway? What was the... Like, I want to know the motive behind this. I want to know what the deal is here.
What does any kid do, really?
Honestly, I often wonder this. Like, I look at these kids and I'm like, was I this much of an asshole? You were absolutely like I'm like recalling my
Oh no, like
you were delightful, like absolutely delightful as I mean, you still are.
Stop it.
It's gonna get
it's
just gonna get steamier from here on in, guys. Like this is just gonna get more and more the tension.
Oh.
But I think me and you were delightful. We were good. I mean,
totally
still good. We are still good kids.
You're still good.
But I do like remember, like, you know, the specific kids in like our like class. I'm not gonna say any names, but you remember the ones that were like, God, this kid must have put the teachers through fucking hell.
Oh no, I can totally sympathize with teachers now. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Young Men Yell at Clouds, the podcast all about complaining, but also a bit of fun banter and chatting. Hashtag not dead yet. Greg here once again, and this time I'm joined by a very special guest, the OG co-host from back in the original 2 episodes, one of which is only available on YouTube, as I found out the other day. It's Liam, everybody.
I didn't realize this only had 2 episodes. We only put 2 episodes. Did you only put 2 episodes of this up? This is like a full resurrection.
We only did 2, and then if you remember rightly, I had to I uploaded the second one, and it turns out I pulled it down because Harry and Nathan said a lot of a person's name I had to keep bleeping out. Missed one, and apparently I just never re-uploaded the YouTube video. The audio version's there.
I remember how irritating that was. I love both of them so much, but that must have been an absolute fucking hassle for you, man.
They took what was a funny joke and basically ran that shit.
Too far, boys. Too far. If you're listening, too far. But no, I'm happy to be back. I'm happy that I was chosen for this occasion. What this is like this? Is this the second? This will be the second episode of your resurrection, right?
I mean, the order's all on. I mean, I'm technically listening this is season 2, but then the last episode I did is episode 3, so it's still canonical.
A little bit upset I wasn't called on first, but you know.
I mean, honestly, like if you want to lift the curtain back a little bit, it was literally I'd been thinking for a while. I want to bring it back because it's just a fun podcast. Talk about whatever the fuck we want. It was literally spur of the moment. One day I was sat at work thinking of shit. And I was like, I need to do this. And I was like, the only guy I know who's always free is Garrett, who I do the Bear Club with. He was like, Garrett, what are you doing now? He's like, I was thinking of streaming. What do you have in mind? He's like, well, fuck it, we're going to do this. And he was like, hell yeah, let's do a test. It turned out great. Oh, so yeah, we're back to some. We're gonna get a lot. I'm sure, as we've heard in the intro, Liam's got a lot he wants to get off his chest. It's been a week, but how about we start with something a bit nice, just to get you into it.
Ease me into it like a latex gimp suit. You've got to go slow. You've got to use plenty of lube, and
I think I've got some down here somewhere.
Okay, good. Get it ready. Get it at the ready, and ease me into it. I'm ready. I'm ready to have a nice night because again, today sucked.
Okay, so we'll start with a nice game. So we were actually discussing this just before we were recording.
It turns.
I've not told you, but here's the setup. I was giving you a bit. So we were talking just before this. It turns out from recent developments, I'm a pretty good wingman for you. Would you say?
I would say you're an excellent wingman. In fact, I think you get me. You get me, bro.
You get me, bro.
I mean, So I like to be wingmanned. I like to be wingmanned. I like people giving me attention in clubs. And you say you're a good one, but we haven't actually tested this yet.
You haven't tested it yet, but this is why I've come at this game. So at the same time as that, we recently been having chat where I've been saying to Liam, like, you know what, I've shown him bits, but I was like, you probably love pro wrestling. I feel like this could be a new session for you.
Yeah.
So I've decided to combine the 2 ideas.
Sexy wrestling.
We'll probably play this game throughout the episode because I haven't lined up a whole list of these yet. Okay. So randomly for the episode, I might just show you more. I've got a few of mine now. I'm going to show you wrestlers that I think you would dig.
Okay.
That you would like want to saw them in a bar, you'd be like,
I want to buy you a drink and tug you.
You'd walk up to them and be like, whoa, sex.
I mean, you've met me. I definitely would not be going, whoa, sex.
You would.
The world's oldest twink.
Off camera, he sounds like a 50-year-old man from Cockney days.
Would you say I'm remotely? I always get asked it before you get the game going. Am I a manly man? Like he says in the most high-pitched voice he's ever fucking heard, or am I a little more femme? I'm not insulted either way. You're like
the solid mix because guess what, guys? Liam does boxing. I learned this week.
Literally,
you can't really get more manly than that, right?
Yeah, I was getting sweaty with older men, just hugging them real fucking tight. I mean, you try to get me to wrestling right after, which says a lot about you.
I was trying to convince him to go, but then I thought about it, and I thought with the way my health is, I'd take one fucking bump and then I would put my back out, and that would be all she wrote on an in-ring career.
Well, again, we'll just do some amateur wrestling here. We'll get the mud bath. We'll get some. We'll get one of those kiddie pools. Fill it with mud. Live stream it.
Fill it with Jello.
Jello. There you go.
That's one for the American fans there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Boy.
So I've got a few wrestlers in mind. I'm gonna just have to pull them up on my phone, and throughout the episode, I'll probably stop if I think of another one and just be like, "Here, look at this one." Your job is just to give me a grading on 1 to 10. So 1 being wouldn't go near them even if you're on the other side of the world and had the longest fucking pole. 10, you would like see them at a bar and immediately like pounce on them.
Okay. I mean that made me sound a little bit like a predator, but okay.
I mean.
I just do
I can neither confirm or deny what you're saying, but yeah. So I will bring the pictures up on here on the edit.
Watch them all be 10s. Watch them all be 10s.
So for now, we will start because this will start because I showed you a picture of Tyler Bates,
and I was Tyler masturbating right after.
Filer Bay, as we call him, because those thighs.
Well, I was saying you thick thighs. That's my go-to. If you got thick thighs, make my dick rise. In no less terms, that's my go-to. Like I want to be. What is it? Which Bond film is it? It's a GoldenEye where the bad girl like crushes people with her thighs.
I always get them mixed up. I'm
sure it's
either GoldenEye or The World Is Not Enough.
It's one of them two.
It's one of them two.
She just like orgasms and crushes them. That's what I want happening to me right now.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll start with the urchin prince, Drew Parker.
Okay. So I've got. Very pretty face. I'm into that.
He basically looks like it's like a boy next door look with a bit of an impish quality.
So from the face, from the neck up, I'm all game. I'm gonna say like a good solid 8, great. What's my complaint gonna be, Greg? What have you not provided me with, as far as like neck down?
He's not that ripped.
Well, it doesn't have to be ripped. But come on.
He's got no carpeting.
I like at least a little bit of stuff. I can see a little bit there. I can see a tiny bit there.
Would it sway if I told you that Drew is he does a lot of deathmatch wrestling, so that's with a lot of bleeding and stuff. Well, that's what he looks like when he wears his mask to the ring.
He's definitely more ripped there as well. That's doing a little bit more for me. I'm gonna give him like a 7 because I'm there. I definitely wouldn't kick him out of bed. But I don't know if I would. I don't know if I'd be. He wouldn't be the first guy I buy a drink for.
I'd say for a lot of these wrestling ones, you're gonna have to exclude the carpeting because typically they
have to shave, don't they?
And they not a lot of them will have it.
Okay, I wish he was a little bit beefier. I like a ripped guy, but I'm like a stocky, like big guy kind of guy. If that makes sense. Like I like a rugby type. Like the one you showed me with the massive fucking thighs. Give me that.
Well, speaking of which,
let's give him a 7. I'm gonna give him a 7.
I'm gonna give him 7.
7 inches.
That's good. That's good. I'm off to a good start. I mean, I think a lot of these I'm just kind of testing the water.
Yeah. Okay.
For future ideas if we're ever out on a night out again. How about we go with a bit of synergy? So I showed you Tyler Bate earlier. I'm going to show you his tag team partner. So he's in a tag team with a guy called Trent Seven, and they're a tag team called Mustache Mountain.
I mean,
for obvious reasons.
In the name alone, I'm pretty much. Can I give a rating without even looking at him?
And he's more senior, but it's like
again, it's
a good senior.
That's a 10 out of 10 right there, my friend. That's a beautiful fucking man. Let's have a look. So you got the grey in the beard. You've got the. I'm an absolute sucker for a beard and a mustache. Like I know
he's also a very snazzy dresser. He loves his clothes, loves his crepes.
He looks like he looks after himself, and he looked like he could look after me as well, which I'm perfectly okay with. That's a 10 out of 10. He could tag team me any day.
Oh,
Mate, you've reached quite high there. I hope the rest are going to live up to that expectation.
Well, I'm sitting on a 7 and a 10 so far, so I'd say I'm doing pretty well. I think this next one.
Wish I was sitting on a 7.
This one could be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I've got the picture up there, but I'll get it on my phone as well.
Yep.
Because I know you like. I don't want to give this an apt comparison, but I know you obviously appreciate Drag Race, you appreciate like the theatrics, the makeup.
Yeah.
This is Cara Noir.
Oh, you showed me him before, and I remember exactly why. Well, there's that picture you're pointing out, which the guys can't see on the stream. But I dressed up. It was my friend's birthday party, and I was wearing some kind of feather garb around my neck, and I'd like done my face, and you were like, "You remind me of this wrestler," and I immediately looked. He's gorgeous, like he's absolutely gorgeous, and you're right. I do like the theatrics, and I do like the face. That body, man, look at that.
Oh yeah,
you're gonna have to give me a minute. Don't take the phone away. I'm gonna give him.
Leave the room.
Okay, he's a little.
Got my cum towel.
He's a little bit prettier around the face, so he's not quite a 10 out of 10. I'm like an 8.5 because that body's rocking.
He's a dad as well. He's got a kid.
Oh, that's all I need. Does he want another kid? Me. Does he want to put a kid in me? Anyway, in me. 8.5. I'm doing a 0.5. I'm doing a point system as well.
Okay.
Yeah, he's good. He's really, really good. Positive vibes.
Positive vibes. Like, this is what we like to hear. So I'm doing all right. We'll go for something a bit more mainstream.
Should we go out and wingman right after this? Are you going to take me to a club? Is that what's going to happen?
If you want, it's Friday night. We're in Newcastle,
baby.
And
I'm skint, so no. And I'm tired.
Yeah, I am a little bit as well. Okay, we'll go something a bit more mainstream because those last few were sort of more independent. Some though do work for WWE, but what about the current AEW champion, the cleaner, Kenny Omega?
Okay, right. Okay, I've got some comments. Is that his haircut? Is that his hairstyle all the time? Because I'm not a fan of. Is that like a?
He has long,
like a mullet.
He has long. No, he has long curly hair. I'll find another picture, and he often dyes a different colors.
Because like I look body wise, yeah, I'm into that. Like again, you've got that like stocky dad bod. Okay.
Well,
I'm into that.
Well, at the moment he's full on heel, and he shaved his beard, so like the Lemmy look, with the little part shaved out, but he's still got like the.
I feel like all the elements are there, and I feel like everything is kind of like it's like not quite the sum of its all this part. Like I like the body, I like the beards, I like the hair, but there's something not quite clicking, and I don't know what it is.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm gonna go like 6 on this one.
6.
It's still not bad. I still wouldn't let him clean me out, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
I'm bringing nothing but filth to this podcast. That's all I am here for.
Because I have a lot of gay friends, and I've lived with a few of them. One of them who I lived with for a long time was infatuated with this guy. So I want to get your opinion.
Let's do it. Bring it on.
Because there's a lot here. Maybe if you look at him, you won't think, but if I tell you some more, you'll be like,
okay, there's a backstory to this one, is there?
A little bit.
Okay.
This is. That's a good picture. Fuck you, Google. Give us something good.
Give me my sexy boys. Give me my hunky boys.
We'll get an extra shot in the ring. Actually, no, we've got one posing. That would help.
That would.
We'll go with that one. This is Cesaro.
Oh, right, yeah, straight away. So I've got a few more things that you may or may not know about me. Bald heads. Hey, Greg. Bald heads are kind of like a massive turn on for me. He is absolutely. Can I have that phone?
Okay.
Can you send me that picture?
Do you want to know more about him? You've
already sold me. You don't need to tell me anymore.
He's from Switzerland.
Okay.
Speaks 6 languages.
Yep.
Loves video games.
Okay.
And is a big fan of coffee.
Oh, okay.
He's also often considered pound for pound, because you look at him and think there's beefier wrestlers. Yeah. He's pound for pound considered one of the strongest wrestlers in WWE.
He looks lean.
One of his moves is called the Cesaro swing. He just grabs him by the legs and spins in a circle and just.
It's like it's I'm looking at his brow, and that's kind of doing it for me as well. He's got this like furrowed it's that. You mean you picked an excellent picture? I'm looking at the other ones, and they're all fucking excellent as well. He's like a solid 10.5 out of 10.
There he is with his gum shielding. He's just like ready to kick some ass.
Absolutely beautiful. Like, was your intention to get me horny on mic? Because if you're doing that, then that's what you've achieved. So well done.
Yeah, I know, right?
But no, yeah, he's the best so far. He wins. I don't need to say any more.
Okay.
But there is something about the bald head. I don't know why, but again, it's like I've clearly got a lot of daddy issues. I like an older guy, I like a beefy guy, and I like a bald guy. So, it's like pretty much a perfect recipe for Liam's daddy issues.
Okay, 2 more off the top of my head, just to kind of get another gauge, and we'll do my all-time favorite wrestler, which you may
all-time favorite, as in your favorite or the one you'd fuck.
All-time favorite.
Okay.
I mean, I'd fuck him as well. I've heard. There's a very short list for me, given I don't swing that way, but
there'd
be a few. I'd be like, you know what?
There's always an exception. I've got a few.
If I had enough drugs and drank,
I've got a few lady passes in my repertoire. Yeah, everyone does. Everyone does.
Well, that's a good picture. Ow. Okay, we'll go with him in the ring recently after his return. We got CM Punk.
Cute as fuck. I feel like you've just kind of set me up for a little bit of disappointment after the last guy. He's still great. Like, he's still like my type of T.
So if we have to scale, Cesaro is at the peak.
He's the top
now.
So far. He
okay,
is.
That's fair.
And this guy's gorgeous. Yeah, he's absolutely gorgeous. And he's again, he's got that stocky build. He's not. I actually don't like that many abs. So like those like 8-packs that people fucking sport kind of piss me off because I'm like, that's not real like muscle. That's not real strength. You just like.
Okay. So in that vein,
yeah.
While we're on this game, and I'll leave this for the next one because well, what would you give Punk before?
We'll give him a solid 8. Solid 8.
I'll take that. So we'll end. Well, I'll if I think more, I'll pull them up on my phone throughout the episode. But what probably the biggest wrestler on the planet?
Yeah.
Even though you can still class him as one. Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Okay.
Bald.
Yeah, sexy.
I would say, given what you just lad said, maybe he gets more ripped every day. So is he at the point now where you're kind of like...
It's almost like diminishing returns a bit. Yeah, where it's like you're not even a human anymore. You're just mostly like...
So maybe
you're
if
more
went to
muscle
like,
than man.
About like a late 2000s Rock.
Yeah.
He'd left wrestling, but he was a bald guy, and he was ripped, but he isn't as ripped as he is now, where he's just ridiculous.
Like I'm gonna tie in with my podcast, a South and Tales Rock. You've not seen that yet, have you?
No, but he's
what that
he's got the short hair.
2009, he was pretty beefy.
Yeah,
he wasn't like, again, just a walking pile of muscle. you know, like he's gorgeous. Like he's still like, gorgeous.
Starting out film career.
Yeah,
Rock, occasionally we'd have like the little bit of hair,
Scorpion King,
I guess.
Yeah. But like with the tail and the legs, I like a little bit of that.
That's fair. Well, that's a nice little game to start with. So. Come on, man, then. Why didn't you get into something with me? I know there's got to be a lot on your chest.
There's always a lot on my chest. Yeah, boy, you can rub it off for me.
Damn, you really are working.
I'm trying. Yeah, I'm flexing.
It's like I feel that it's just like granite, and I feel mine. It's like bag filled with pudding.
Oh, but no, the thing is, I like that. Like, I wouldn't. Because I always wonder about this. I wouldn't fancy myself as much. Like, I know I'm relatively good looking. He says, completely. Not modest whatsoever, but I don't think I'd like fancy myself. Like if I saw myself in a club, I'd be like, yeah, he's cute, but he's not my type. What's my gripes? I've got shit tons. I don't even know where to fucking start. Can I start with late stage capitalism as a concept?
Yeah, why not? Well,
I'm sick of working.
Well, I know
so
you didn't get a chance to listen to the last episode, but we already did we talked about a lot about capitalism last week. Me and Garrett have the theory that do you know how Jeff Bezos is doing the whole spaceship?
Oh yeah.
It's not just for a personal thing. It's because him and other millionaires are doing it. So billionaires are doing it because they're looking for real estate in space.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Our theory is the moon will one day just be turned into a giant shopping mall.
They've monopolized everything here. There's nothing left to monopolize. Like they've already burned down every rainforest and they've turned it all into a fucking mall. You're right. What's next? The moon, of course, on Mars. Fuck you, Elon Musk. Pay your taxes.
Yeah, Jeff has just gone up there because he sees the moon and thinks, I'm going to put my first Amazon factory
I'm going to fuck that moon. I'm going to fuck it so hard and just completely... You're right, we are fully satisfied destroying our own planet now. We've done it. We've completed it, mate. Earth, done it. Boss stage over with. It's the moon. It's time to fuck the moon.
Yeah, time to ruin that shit.
But it does. It just like it. Like I feel like obviously I don't know if anyone who doesn't listen to podcasts, my podcast won't know that I've started university, so I'm like doing that, and that makes me really happy. Like being in an environment where I'm like reading books and studying and being around my peers. Great. Like I'm working out a shit ton, as you said. Yeah, feeling my peckies. But you're right. Like I just feel like so much of my time is just like sat in traffic waiting for work or the daily commute or then like just sitting around doing fucking it just infuriates me. And I know I sound like a whiny bitch. It just feels like a third world problem. Oh, you're complaining about having a job. But I'm more complaining about like the amount of time that I have to commit to something I fucking hate. And I'm like, well, at what point do I just move to the woods and start there? Because I feel like it's getting there. I
know, I feel you.
I know, and we all do. I know, obviously our mate Harry as well. Like everyone has that daily grind. It's not going to go anywhere. But we always say like, what's the dream life? Where we win the lottery. First thing we're doing, quitting that fucking job, which I know they always say don't do because you'll be broke within like a year.
Oh no, like well, here's the thing with the lottery. So many people will win. Say in the UK one, you could maybe win as a jackpot, maybe what, 2 million you see people win?
Probably at max, yeah.
That is not a lot of money.
It's not enough.
Like the people who win that are usually people who have no concept of like the value of a pound, even though they don't have one.
Yeah.
And then they basically get the money, they buy a stupid big fuck off house, a fast car.
Maybe a yacht if they fancy it. Maybe.
Maybe. Chavs at sea.
There's your movie.
Yeah, and then basically they buy these big lavish things. 6 months later, back in the dog queue.
Yep, this is
with
it.
a house they can't afford.
But you're right. Like, I feel like I would try. You're right. I would. If I won the Euro Millions.
No. But that being said, if we won 2 million,
we'd invest it.
We'd be smart and invest in making this try to be a thing.
I'd start a business that really mistreats its workers and just completely doesn't let them take piss breaks and makes them die in factories. And I'd be great. I'd be well off. I wouldn't pay my taxes. I know that much. Sorry. No, I don't know. It's one of those things where you do read.
If you're not part of the problem, you're part of the solution.
You read about like infuriating things like Musk not paying his taxes or any of that bullshit, and you're like, well, why am I slaving away? Why am I working my ass off when the system's fucked? The system's rigged.
You know what upsets me about someone like Elon Musk? He'll send out a tweet that will tank his shares by 40 billion, and that's like basically a drop in the bucket because they'll go back up.
Yeah, it
doesn't give a flying shit.
He would not even notice. And you know what? I find it strange as well because I actually really like his Grimes as an artist, his wife, but I don't know if I can sign off on this relationship anymore. I'm not feeling it.
They're still a thing.
They're still a thing. I don't know how because she's like this weird pixie manic dream girl indie fucking leftist weirdo.
She came from another planet. Let's not beat around the bush here. She's not from Earth.
Not a human being. But she makes some good music. I don't know if you've ever listened to Grimes. She's actually got some sick tunes.
Like, I've tried. The only thing I know from is she did a guest spot on a Bring Me the Horizon track.
Fair. No, you should. It's this weird. Again, it's this weird pixie like electronic synth pop shit. But it works. Like, and again, I don't know if I can fully sign off on it because you're a shill. You're a shill woman.
I thought you were calling me a shill.
You're a beautiful, beautiful man. Like, I would never dare insult that gorgeous face.
Come on,
but no, it has been one of those weeks. You know, one of those weeks where you don't feel like you've gotten enough time to shit because I'm just jam packed full of stuff that I don't want to do.
Yeah,
it's just infuriating, and then you realize the world around you is burning.
I think. Well, I'm understanding about our friendship is we will hopefully try and see each other when we can, but often more is the case. I'll ask you when you're free, and you're like, "Oh, dude, I'm fully booked until like next month."
I'm starting to forget what the word "free" means. Like, it's just not a thing. And I know I kind of
freedom isn't free.
It costs folks like you and me. I have not seen Team America in the longest time. We could pop that on afterwards. No, but it is one of those things where I bring it on myself, and I know I do because I'm not satisfied. And Ryan always says, well, like drop boxing. Like I do boxing once a week. I see my PT 3 times a week. I do the gym every fucking day, and it's a lot. And I get that. But like I'm at that point in my life, and I do writing. Like I'm doing a creative writing course at uni, so I'm trying to consistently write. So I'm just trying to do as much of that as I can at work. Like I'm in the classroom writing poetry. Like these kids will be fine. As long as nothing sets a light, I'm going to do what I want to do while they're doing their thing.
Okay.
If my employers are listening to this, I'm not doing poetry in the classroom. I'm not writing my shit in the classroom. I'm teaching because I'm a good teacher.
Disclaimer: Lima's actually working when he's supposed to be working.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, could you write your poetry,
no, I couldn't.
but make it look like you're teaching the kids?
No, this is the nice thing. So I'm an English teacher as well, so it kind of just looks like I'm fucking around with poetry, so it doesn't really like affect much. Like if anyone comes in, we're like, right, yes, this is what we're going to study. My shitty writing. You guys are going to read my shitty.
You've actually got a book, right?
Oh, I mean, right. So I've got a book on Amazon. Oh, should I do a shameless plug for my?
Horrible about the shameless
plug. No, because the first book is terrible. The first book is like fresh out of uni. I was 21. It was my dissertation. It was about, and again, full disclaimer.
I did think at the time because we weren't talking then, not because we fell out, it's just because we lost touch.
Hate each other.
And I saw you releasing the book. I was like, you pretentious fucker.
It was like Kindle only. It was like 99 pence. I think I made a total of like 15 quid off it or something. But again, that was all my family and friends being forced to buy it. It was absolutely wank. Don't find it. But I've got some shit published in journals and stuff. So there's like a few poetry journals where basically poets submit work and it gets published. So I've got a few, which is good, which is fun. So I am a quote unquote published author, but not really. Like I'm published.
Hey, it's more books than I've published.
There we go. I mean, yeah. I mean, but this is the thing. Like, again, I just feel like I'm trying to.
I just feel like if I got work published, it would have to be something along the lines of Hunter S. Thompson. I'd have to take a lot of drugs and go on a weird weekend to.
Mate, that's where I bought
Blackpool. That'd be the equivalent of Vegas, right? Fear and Loathing in Blackpool.
That's depressing.
I've got the outfit, so.
Hey, man. I mean, most writers write their best shit when they're absolutely blitzed. Like, I know I fucking did.
I don't know how they do it in some cases.
Right. Again, I feel like I can talk. I used to take a shit ton of drugs in uni.
Yeah,
we can talk about this on the podcast, right?
Fucking,
I've got like 2 stages of my career because I do not do.
By the way, sorry, Mum, if you're listening, but you do already kind of know I take some drugs.
Well, right. This is like a full disclosure thing. I'm going to say I smoke a bunch of weed now. Like I am a advocate of the.
Yeah,
I'm an advocate. I've tried to talk about it on my podcast, but every time I do, Jack and Hannah always like rail me and like, no, we have jobs. Fuck you. But I smoke a shit ton of weeds. I write good poetry on weed. But I used to take like party drugs and I used to do all that. And the way I used to do it is I used to write absolute nonsense because I'm a bleeding heart. I've got a lot of emotions. You know what I'm like.
If you took a bunch of party drugs, you could maybe write the sequel to The Naked Lunch.
Yeah,
and that's about it.
Yeah, this is it. And I would write all that down, and then who fucking said it? It's a famous quote: "Write high or write drunk, edit sober." And that's like my mantra that I've lived by. Like write everything. I just carry a notebook around, or I type it in my phone. And then I'll look at it in like 3 days and like, there might be something there that I can salvage from this absolute train wreck of bullshit. But again, like I don't do that anymore because I'm stoned all the time now. So I write nature poetry about trees because that's what I feel like writing about now. I used to write about how I was a drug addict and how I was sad all the time. Now I write about trees.
Oh, oak tree, big, tall, and wise. Why can't I be more like you? Am I doing
I thought
right?
You were going to do the one from The Simpsons, you know, where Lisa writes the one for the man, the old man, and I can't remember what it is. Oh, it's a good one as well. Yeah, fuck it, I fucked it.
It's fine.
That was my main right, but I've got a shit ton more if you want to hear it.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you feel on that one,
you got more sexy men. You got more sexy men.
Before we get to that, I've thought of another baldy wonder, I think you will.
Is he sitting right in front of me?
He's a very intense guy, and I've got like the funny thing is this whole segment. So for people who listen to this podcast, on the LADbible podcast, I'm a huge wrestling fan, as you can tell. I also collect a lot of wrestling figures. Like Liam, like just look to my left, like how essentially. Well, right. It's been described to me. No one would be surprised if the way I died was they found me under an avalanche of plastic, paperbacks, and cardboard.
Well, I'm a little bit worried because, like, I'm stopping the night. You're obviously sleeping downstairs, and I'm sleeping. I'm sleeping here because I'm worried I'm going to wake up and it's going to be like toy soldiers, and these guys are going to be pinning. Like Gulliver's Travels, they're going to be pinning me the fuck down.
In my head, I try to think like Toy Story. So in the night, they just get down off the shelves, have a wrestling show, and we don't get to say it could be the best fucking show. It could be the best fucking show ever.
We should set up the hidden cams around the room. Although I don't know if you dig that. That might be a bit of an invasion of privacy. Give me a baldy guy. I'm waiting.
Okay, this guy, he's very intense. So I think if he was this way inclined, he would destroy you in the best possible ways. This is
speaking my language, bro.
Now formerly carrying Cross, going back to his old wrestling name, Killer Cross.
Oh, hello. Yeah, you definitely know my type. But again, like you're right. I kind of want him to. Yeah, destroy. As you say, I want him to destroy me, and then I want him to like give me pocket money afterwards. Give me
yourself a pick and
give me an allowance. No, this is he's fucking stunning. That's a 10 inches.
Although this might make you jealous. That's him and his new fiance.
Yeah, she can fuck off. I mean, she's gorgeous. Let's be honest. She's
stunning.
She's absolutely stunning.
No, I will have to probably show you his entrance because one of the best things ever. And she's all a part of the entrance. So yeah. Killer Cross.
I'm not ready for you.
Where's he ranking?
Just below that the Swedish guy. Is he Swedish?
Swedish.
Yeah,
just Swiss Superman.
Just below the Swiss guy, because he's like, I don't think anything's going to be him. Because that's like, if you're describing, if I had like a computer and you're like, right, type in, make a model of your perfect man. That's the guy right there. Like he's absolutely wonderful. He's like just the right level of bulky. No, he's great though. He's great.
It must just be a trend that gay guys must really love Cesaro. Because again, my old flatmate.
It's the look. He's got
like basically. He'd watch wrestling with me, but not pay attention. As soon as Cesaro came on, bam.
Fully erect.
My bed was flooded.
Have you got a Cesaro toy? Because that might go missing.
Whoa, it's not a toy.
Inside of me. I'm sorry.
It's an action figure.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Because that will go missing.
Unfortunately, I don't yet.
I know what I'm getting myself.
Oh, Christmas is around the corner.
Christmas comes once a year.
Yes. You know what? I've actually got an interesting one.
Sexy man.
So you obviously know who Luke Perry is, right?
I do, actually, yeah.
Well,
Brilliant.
did you know his son is a wrestler and he's very popular at the moment?
With the ladies, or just with?
Just in general.
Just in general.
So obviously the big thing is AEW is like the new upstart company. It's already 2 years in, and it's already WWE's biggest rival. And he's essentially going to be one of their stars to take the company into the future. Everyone loves him.
Okay, bring it. I'm ready to be wowed with this sexy man.
I think he'll dig him. He's got a cute boyish charm because he is still a young.
I'm not even going to think about this one. I'm just going to look and give a number because I think I'm thinking too much sometimes. So I'm just going to look and just the first number that comes to my head because I've not done this yet. So
I mean, now that I've told you it's his dad, you will probably see the resemblance.
Okay, he's pretty. I'm going to give him a 6. Shit, sorry, that was the number. He's a little bit skinny for me. He's a little.
No, he's getting jacked by the day.
As long as he's getting jacked by the day,
Okay. And he's starting to get a bit of a beard.
Good face, good hair. But just a little in that picture anyway, a little bit skinny for me.
He's called Jungle Boy, and do you want to see his tag team partner?
I'll always Jungle Boy. I
actually have the figure of these two because they are great.
Let's have a look. Bring it.
You might probably prefer his partner. Actually,
I'm just going to give a number again. I'm just going to go straight into the number.
Luchasaurus.
Okay, all right, yeah, that body's. I can't really see his face. I don't know if I'd be okay with the
Oh
mask.
no, if you were going to go to bed with him, it has to be with the mask.
Then that's a 10. That's a 10 out of 10. Why wouldn't I? Like, his body's fucking stunning.
And they're part of the tag team Jurassic Express.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. No man, he's cute as fuck, even with the mask. In fact, especially with the mask.
And he's like he's really tall.
Okay,
and he's really jacked.
Yeah.
Essentially,
you just made a list of
the last guy was Jack Perry, aka Jungle Boy. He comes out of the ring on his shoulders if they're going in for a tag team match, and Luchasaurus towers above him. He's a big dude.
I have always wanted to scream a name like Luchasaurus in bed, so I think that would take off a few boxes as far as fantasies go.
Luchasaurus!
Genius, absolutely genius. No man, you do have my type to a T, which is wingmanning to the gods. Love it. I fucking love it.
Love it.
Love it.
Okay, so what else has been bothering you in this man? We just keep the train fucking rolling. You know,
it's the thing is, what's been bothering me is like a kind of an upsetting-ish subject. So I don't know if you want me to take it there.
Oh, we can go there. This podcast, we're a comedy podcast. Okay. I want to be all.
So can we talk a little bit
inclusive?
We talk a little bit about Astro-World, but specifically, have you heard about this?
Oh yeah,
specifically the bullshit narrative that's following it with the satanic panic. The rebirth of the satanic panic bullshit that's come back.
No, right? Okay, I've not heard this part.
So obviously, for people who don't know, I don't know where. If you have not heard about Astro-World, you probably should have. Just go on Twitter for more than 5 minutes. Like 9 people have died so far, basically because of.
Oh, is it up to 9?
So now? One person was in a coma and then passed away, I think, yesterday, which is so fucking sad.
Yeah, very sad, very sad. I mean, before you get into that, Travis Scott, he is not. He's a nice dude.
He's not a good dude.
He's incited shit like this before.
Yeah, or Drake. They're both dickheads, from what I can tell.
Yeah. I mean, fair enough. So he's going to pay you for the funeral cost, but like,
no,
that's big part of his act I learned is he incites people to rage.
Well, you watch the videos. He's doing it. Yeah, he's doing videos.
Previously, someone got crippled at his concert because he encouraged them to jump off a balcony, and I don't think anyone caught them.
Nope.
Yeah, so
absolute bullshit. Yeah, and again, like he's doing this thing at the minute where he's like refunding tickets as well, but then people are saying like, just read the fine print on that because if you want to make a lawsuit against him, which you absolutely fucking should if you're involved in that, there might be some fine print in there as to. But my real gripe, obviously, that's a tragedy. That's really upsetting, and they should be held accountable. Absolutely. The thing that's really pissing me off is that there's this kind of ongoing meta narrative about people saying this was a sacrifice that Travis Scott and Drake are part of an Illuminati cult or whatever. Because in all fairness, some of the iconography, some of his albums, there's one of his like posters that recreates the Bat Boy News of the World image. And there's all the eyes and there's all the triangles and there's like those mouth of hell kind of imagery as well.
Yeah.
And people are like, no, this was a ritual sacrifice. And I'm like, first of all, get your head out your ass.
Okay, so they're saying this whole tragedy. I mean, I can understand the thought process because he finished the gig. And
which
like
is
30 minutes in
was
when people were like, we need to stop this, but he still finished it. But so I could get that. But then again, this does feel like people
reaching
tinfoil hat moment.
But it's more like, I just feel like really bad for the victims and their families, because that's the last thing they need is to think there is a whole conspiracy going on here where it's moving the narrative away from the actual cause of the problem, which was, you're right, Trevor Scott being an asshole and inciting violence and inciting. Well, he also overbooked it. I think he kept saying on Twitter, like, no, we're sold out, but people will let you in.
No.
We'll let you in.
Well, like, the thing is, he's been known to incite these things, but the only thing he did at this festival, I think, was he incited people to rush
the forward
entry.
Yeah.
Because there's footage of this. People were rushing the festival entrance, and I'm guessing they didn't have tickets.
Yeah.
And it was pandemonium.
Well,
so even before an artist had played, there were warning signs.
I mean, me and you are both, like, we both frequented the festival scene for a while. I've not been to a festival since I was about 24, I think. But I do love I absolutely love a festival.
I mean, my days of gigs are getting to the point where I wouldn't be up front anymore. But I definitely consider going to a festival.
We went to a gig last
weekend. I just think British festivals are better run, because the thing is, music
checkpoints as well. Like,
music festivals in America are only really starting to take off properly.
Yeah.
Britain's been ahead of the curve with being about music festivals, because we've had Glastonbury, which has got nearly 60 years history.
Yeah.
But then even then we've got ones, and like they're well planned and well thought out. It's very rare you hear in the news that there was a festival and it wasn't
handled some care.
Yeah, the only thing we get in the press is that, again, it's the typical drug panic of, a kid died because they took a ecstasy pill, which you could amount to a number of reasons.
But also you can't really that's going to happen. That happens on nights out regularly. That happens in town. You can't really then look at the festival and think, the festival's dangerous, some kid died. When I was at a festival in near Barcelona, Benicassim, and we were seeing, it's kind of embarrassing actually, we were seeing Chase and Status, which I'm not actually a fan of. We were, again, this was during my...
was this Benicassim festival?
Benicassim, yeah.
Oh, really?
Which was great, absolutely wonderful. I think
it
was the year... I'm sure Arctic Monkeys were playing that year. I don't fucking know. Anyway, we saw a kid get rushed off, and he was like foaming, and it was a kind of a stressful situation. We were all on pills. We were all having a great time. But you kind of have to account for that. That's going to happen everywhere. Poor planning and poor security, again, like those checkpoints, they are crucial to making sure everyone's safe and making sure things aren't overstocked and aren't oversubscribed. And the fact that this Travis fucking Scott dickheads, it just pisses me off. And it's like him and he's dating one of the Kardashians. I don't know which one. I think it's like Kylie or something. I don't fucking follow them.
Yeah, the only one I know is a Chloe dating Travis Barker.
Yeah,
still blows my fucking mind.
That's weird, right? Yeah. Fucking weird. But yeah, I think it's Kylie Jenner is the one he's dating. And she then came out on her Instagram and on her Snapchat, there were like videos of the gig, and there were like ambulances everywhere. And there were people doing CPR on like her Snapchat. And it's like this narrative of like, we didn't know what was going on until it was too late. No, there are videos showing you fucking days.
You knew what was going on. And because I watched one of my favorite, there's a great YouTube channel called Internet Today, which basically covers stuff like this. And then you said it right, like, the professional, the kind of musician he is, with the set they have, he would have had an in-ear microphone which relayed shit to him. How is it the case that no one relayed to him that there's people hurt and injured, and an ambulance got brought in? Do you know what made that worse? Certain fans got on top of the ambulance and started dancing, and like delayed it getting people to emergency attention. So it's one of those scenarios where there's just so much that went wrong that there's a lot of people to blame. And again, you think back to English festivals, like, because the whole thing was a surge, wasn't it? Everyone just charged the stage. Again, English festivals got this laid down. It's like Sonosphere, which isn't running anymore. They had like the perfect layup. You'll see a lot of British festivals. They had the front row, but it was split down the middle.
Yes,
So on either side, and then there was a barrier there where people could get in between like security, and then you had another row back, and that's kind of how you get around.
It's because you can funnel people out, can't you?
Exactly.
Well,
you layer it up. You don't just have like an open area.
Well, this is what I always think, is at the festivals I've been to, if someone's being an asshole or someone's being a dick, you'll just get shifted out. You'll get lifted over the front, and you'll be gone. Like, if you're going to be an asshole, you're out of there. And I've seen like people stop gigs because people are either being inappropriate or people are getting hurt. There is zero excuse for this bullshit. Zero excuse. It's awful.
Best example of that is, have you seen the video of Dave Grohl doing that at the iTunes Festival? Amazing.
Well, absolutely, that's how you handle that situation.
Yeah, right.
And I'm glad. I always kind of bitch about social media and think, oh, it's kind of a bit of a bad medium. But I'm glad that this narrative is being told. I'm glad that especially Twitter, I think, is the one telling the true narrative of the people who were there and of the people who saw just what this fucker did. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not a massive fan of cancel culture, but if we're going to cancel anyone, sorry, Travis Scott, you're fucking gone. Like, I do not want to hear from you ever again. I'm sorry, career's over for me.
See, when it first broke, I'm not, as you can tell, I'm not a rap expert.
Me neither, to be fair. I'm the whitest fucker you know as well.
So I didn't know a lot. So when I saw the initial reports, I was like, oh, that's got to suck. This guy's put on a festival. People died. Because it was his, right? He set that up, right?
It's like, it's because one of his, I think his like last album was called Astro-World, and I think he set it up from that. So it's meant to be. But Tame Impala was there. There were a few other bands.
Non-rap kind of thing.
Quote unquote. Yeah. Okay.
Well, even then, like when I saw this report, I was like, oh, I feel bad at the guy. He set up this festival. Something must have went wrong, and this has happened. But then when you actually look at the report, it's like, oh yeah, no, this guy's famous for inciting this stuff. I mean, like, here's the thing: if he generally didn't realize how bad it was, that's fair. But with that kind of organization, surely someone must have said to him. From what reports have said, half an hour in, when they realized it was getting really bad, like, because it was run by like Ticketmaster as well, they were saying that we should be pulling the gig, and it just didn't happen. Well, he just kept going. He just kept going, and then Drake came out, and it's like, Drake, you're like one of the biggest stars ever, like, and you've done this. Like, come on, man.
But if you want to ruin your night, if you really want to have a bad night on the internet, just go on Twitter and watch the videos. There is a video of Travis Scott on this podium singing down to the crowd as a kid's getting taken away, and he's looking directly at the kid. He knows that this is happening. There is zero excuse. There's one where one of the a festival goer, gets up to one of the camera guys. And she's like, we need to stop the fucking show. And he's like, no, we can't. We're live streaming this. And it's this narrative of like, okay, that's more important than the lives of these people. It makes you just absolutely fucking infuriated.
Draw this back to wrestling, and I want to get your opinion on this. I might have told you this before. So one of the biggest tragedies in wrestling was the death of Owen Hart.
Okay.
Tremendous wrestler. So at the time, he was doing this character called the Blue Blazer. So it looked like a bit like a superhero gimmick, right?
Yep.
And the guy going into this before the show happened, he would usually get lowered to the ring on a harness. The harness would somewhat malfunction, so he was like kind of dangling there. It was all very funny.
Yep.
So for this big pay, it was a pay-per-view event. So obviously people paid to watch this. It was Over the Edge 1999. Right. It was. Owen was due to get lowered to the ring. The people he hired, from what you can see, I'd recommend watching The Dark Side of the Ring, which I've told you about.
I think, you definitely told me about that,
They hired this thing which clearly didn't know what they're doing. They give him the wrong rigging, and they give him a quick release.
Fuck.
It triggered. He fell from the top of the arena into the ring, and of course that killed him.
Yeah, man.
But WWE did not stop the show. They kept it going. There's no footage apparently that exists of showing that happened, because it happened when they were doing like a backstage bit.
Right.
But your thoughts on that? Do you think that obviously the right answer is they should have probably stopped the pay-per-view, right?
Again, like, if you paid for it, like, issue a refund. Like, there are things that are more important than commerce. There are things that are more important that people's lives should take precedence. And I'm sorry, it's scary. It's scary that we're kind of living in a world where that doesn't. That's second to money and second to commerce. I mean, you see it happen. Like, I mean, it's a bit different, but the safety precautions with what happened with Alec Baldwin, like, again, it's like, what's going on? Like, why are we still living in this age where this is happening? We should be past this. This should be priority number one. Like, fuck it. It's honestly, it's so upsetting.
Seems a bit weird us talking about this, given we live in the UK, and if you don't know about the UK, health and safety has gone probably a bit too mad in this country.
The opposite.
But then again, maybe a lot of that should be sent over to places like America for their entertainment industry, because it's clear both the music industry and Hollywood are very fucked when it comes to health and safety regulations.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's how it should be. You're right. It just kind of annoy you when we went to the Blink-182 gig like 2 or 3 years ago. Me and Ryan, my partner, we were like on the verge of taking MD with us, because again, this was back when I was doing a few more drugs. Sorry, mum, if you're listening.
Sorry, mum.
We decided like split second. We're like, no, it's gonna be too much hassle. We can't be fucked with this. Right? So we didn't, because there were police dogs. As soon as we arrived, like, multiple searches, multiple police dogs. We got pulled aside because we were stinking of weed, and we were like, "Wait, have you had any weed? Have you done this? Have you done this? We just like, no. She checked my shoes. Like, I felt like an actual criminal. It was fucking terrifying. But you're right.
Look at him though. Should be in the nick, right?
Right. Look at this. I wouldn't last a minute in prison. Like, I would be passed around like the fucking collection plate at church. Like, I would not last. But no, you're right. Like, you are thankful. We went to a gig I mean, it was a London grammar gig, which I don't know if you listened to. Very calm, relaxing music. But you're right. I'm glad that those precautions are there. We still had a full search when we went in. Like it's there for a reason. We were like, again, you've got these gates. You've got like you're meant to have at least obviously one entrance gate and then a few other gates. And you should. I think that is necessary.
I'm glad it's there, but some of it is because of the
Manchester
panic of the Manchester one. Yeah. Because like I hadn't been to the Metro. Well, the formerly artist known as the Metro Radio Arena in Newcastle Utility, I think it's called now.
What's it now?
Utility?
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
It's not Metro Radio Arena anymore.
Weird.
I went the last gig I went there. It'd been the first time I've been there in a while. Was for Slipknot, and that was just before the pandemic hit. They had metal detectors, and I was like, "Whoa! I didn't realize they were doing this shit now." Like, yeah. So I guess I was at some points a bit too overly precautious, but then I suppose at the time you're grateful for it. You know, as long as you're not the one trying to smuggle in a bomb to a gig, you're going to be comfortable with it, you know?
But again, like, just going back to my original points, if you're listening to this and you're part of that, I have your conspiracy theories. Be my guest. Do what you want, but don't. I think it is slightly dangerous to kind of to push that narrative over no, there are people to blame here. It's not the Illuminati. There are people who should be held accountable, and it's not the fucking powers that be. The fucking deep state, calm down. It's not.
Does the Illuminati
it's not.
even exist?
No,
of course it fucking doesn't. Fabrication.
Of course it doesn't. Really? But I'm glad that people have that. I'm glad that people can have fun with that because I want them. I would love it if they existed. That's fucking amazing. But no, they don't because I'm not 5. Just insulting everyone.
Well, I brought this up last week. So for those who might listen to this and don't know, me and Liam kind of got back in touch. Because we
emphasis on the word touch
because we joined our friend Harry for his podcast, the Pick a Mix podcast, talking about film stuff.
Shout out to Harry
because I don't think we're going to do an episode on it. I want us to talk about Halloween Kills.
Oh, we're gonna talk about it, are we? I have feelings.
We have feelings because you and me are both big fans of the original.
The original 2 and 3. Actually. Oh yeah, like I like them pretty consistently up until 4. Yeah, I'm going to say 4 is pretty shit. And I didn't hate the reboot, the 2018 one. Harry bums it. Absolutely.
No. I think the 2018 one is like, I'd probably put that second as my favorite Halloween film. I think it gets it good on equal footing.
Absolute full of shit, mate. I'm like more of like it's fine, but it's redundant. Like it's good, but it's the same as H2O. I would probably put H2O in that. In the same, this is fine but shouldn't exist category. It's fine. Shouldn't exist.
Yeah, but like we've got thoughts on it, and since we can't do anything else, we'll do like a mini thing here.
Yeah.
So like I because me and Garrett last week, as like a carry on, we were talking about horror, jump scares, and I brought up like a lot of things in it. There was just a lot about it where again, the film's got good ideas.
Yeah.
Doesn't see them through, and then there's just a lot of
I've got
shit.
I'm worried you set me up for
one of my gripes happened very early on, and it's the kill with the light tube.
What the Jason Voorhees kill?
Yeah, I guess it's where he kills that old couple. Well, he doesn't kill them outright. He maims the old man.
Yeah,
approaches the old woman.
Yeah.
Puts down his weapon. Yeah. Goes over to the kitchen counter, unhooks the light tube, smashes it, and then shanks her in the neck.
It's
like why?
My issue with this isn't even necessarily like a film from a filmmaking standpoint. Like I don't think any of this is that. I think it's a well-made movie. I think it's filmed nicely. I think that David Gordon Green clearly has an eye for horror, but it's a bad Michael movie. It's a really bad Michael movie.
Oh yeah, they basically rob Michael of what it should be. So the thing is, like the reason like the 2018 when it took Michael back to being the
basics.
Yeah. He was just
he's a hurricane.
He's like, the shape.
Yeah. I always say
he's just evil incarnate. There's no reason behind it.
If you get in his way, he'll fuck you up.
Yeah.
But this is it. He was always meant to be, and it's what John Carpenter was. And I will, apart from maybe Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi and John Carpenter are my like biggest idols in horror in general. Carpenter was a master of tension, and you're right. The 2017 one, it goes back to tension being the key. That's the key words. If you make it nice and slow, nice and deliberate. And again, there is that, what I do kind of really remember from the 2017 one, that beautiful, beautiful tracking shot where he first arrives in Haddonfield and like goes through houses and the camera just pans and you see him through windows. I don't know if you remember it. It's stunning. This movie has none of that. This movie is a mess.
No.
And
This is so again why I like the 2018 one. It takes it back to like how the original was. When we watch the original, there's not a lot of gore in it, right? There's barely a drop of blood.
Yeah.
2018 one, there's a little bit. The main gory bit is when you see the guy's skinned head with the torch in
the police car.
Yeah. So that's probably about as gory as it gets. But then this one, they clearly ramped it up. What I dislike about, again, going back to it, they've made Michael appear like he's driven by emotion. He just comes across as an angry dickhead. The scene I described to Garrett is it's the beginning of the film. Spoilers, by the way.
You don't
I know, right? And he basically goes to kill the fireman. But when he walks out the house, they do that shot you see in action films where he's got the axe and you see him tighten the grip and then lay waste. But it's like, that's not Michael.
It's not, and it's embarrassing.
That's really not him.
It's borderline offensive to fans, I think, as well. Like I said, you hit it on the nail on the head. And I when I say the word redundant, I really want to clarify that. I think there is only one good Michael Myers story. I think you do the escape from a mental asylum, as the first one does, as the 2018 one does. I can't remember how he comes back in H2O, but I know they bring him back.
Probably the same
shit.
On a bus.
And then once you've done the first, Michael terrorizes Haddonfield and goes after Laurie or whatever the fuck you're doing. Once you've done that once, the sequels always suffer. If you think about it, like, so the H2O was followed by Resurrection, which was an actual nightmare with this whole, like, did you see Resurrection? It's my least favorite movie of all time.
Not seen that one, but I know it's the one where Buster Rhymes
it's
like karate kicks him into oblivion.
It's like
basically.
Michael Myers meets Big Brother, and it's a nightmare, or like fucking some American reality TV show. And it's an absolute mess. So the sequel to the reboot fails. You get the Rob Zombie movies, which I don't know if you have opinions on. I enjoy them for the mess that they are.
Oh, I'm a huge Rob Zombie fan.
They're not good movies.
I mean, other than Devil's Rejects, which is like an amazing film.
Yeah, it's a masterpiece.
You've really got to be a certain fan to love Rob Zombie, which I am.
Even House
Again,
of
I watched 31 recently and I enjoyed it.
This is it. House of a Thousand Corpses, you're right. Even though that's probably his second best quote unquote film, it's still, I think you have to be a fan. 31, I absolutely love 31. I don't know if you've seen 3 from Hell, but don't.
No, I don't think I want to ruin what shouldn't be a trilogy.
It's literally,
from what I hear.
Right? Okay, just to ruin it. It's a remake of Devil's Rejects, but bad. Like, it's just the same story, but without Sig Haig. So what's the point? But yeah, his Halloween, again, he took this weird approach where it was like, right, now Michael's got daddy issues. Now he's got a backstory. Great. Sequel comes. Sherry Moon's there with a fucking white horse. No one knows what's going on. There is the only good... You got me in a rant now. The only good Halloween sequel, the only truly good Halloween sequel is the second one. And even that fucks up a lot with the whole Michael Laurie sibling shit.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm... You already kind of knew this, but I told you, like, that was purely... So, if you're any Halloween fans out there and you don't know the reason why the siblings... Go back and watch the first one. That isn't a thing. What happened was, when they were filming the second one, I can't remember the TV company in America, but they got the rights to show it on TV, but because of the way American TV works, you need it in a certain block. They needed about a couple of extra minutes of additional footage. At the time, they were shooting Halloween 2, so Carpenter randomly pulled out the air, okay, we'll do this thing where it turns out they're brother and sister. He's since gone on record multiple times saying it was the worst decision he'd ever made, because if you follow every film following that, that's the canon, which is why I like the 2018 one. It got rid of that.
True.
It's like, oh, because they make the lines like, when they brother and sister, it's like, oh no, that was just like a
ignore that.
Yeah, right, yeah. So yeah, like, that's why I
still think 2 is really good. I still think I would rather watch 2 over the 2018 one personally, because I think I think it was a nice epilogue, apart from the fucking stupid sister brother shit. I do think it rounds out that night.
You know what's funny about
really
2,
well.
Though? Yeah, I watched it recently because it's just come on Netflix in the UK. There are those the only scene that implies it, right? It's when it's clearly him as a kid in the asylum and she sees him.
Yeah.
Other than that, though,
they don't
say it. I think it's really when it gets to 4 and it's the niece that they really drill home. It's like, oh no, they were related.
And then they bring
even then,
cult shit.
I can enjoy 4 for what it is.
4's the least worst of the after
it's
3
when
ones.
It really gets into the cult of Thorn.
And Paul Rudd shows up for no reason.
If you know the history of that, it was a hot mess. Like, what could you do?
But you know, and again, I think for my money, they should have went. And obviously, the intention was to go to be an anthology series after that. I just don't know why we haven't got a consistent. We literally said this. Why is there not a consistent Halloween anthology series every year? Like, it makes no fucking sense.
In the age now where we've got things like Black Mirror, Inside Number 9.
Yeah.
Why couldn't you now just say, why don't we just do the original vision now?
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, like, there aren't many Halloween themed films. And the only film that's called Halloween is now shackled to Michael Myers.
Like, why
doesn't whoever owns the rights make the bold decision and go, okay, now we're going to make it an anthology series?
Yeah. Well,
every film, it's a new concept, new idea, and because it's Halloween, you can go fucking
you can do
shit.
You can do anything.
Create a new slasher if you want. Do something supernatural.
Do you miss this? Because I miss this. Because I used to. Weirdly enough, one of the films I grew up on was Creepshow. And like Tales from the Crypt, and I think they did try and bring it back. I'm sure Shyamalan tried to bring Tales from the Crypt back like a year or two ago, and it just didn't kind of take off. And I think Shudder and Amazon are trying.
Are you thinking of Jordan Peele trying to bring back Twilight Zone?
Potentially, I can't remember. I'll do it.
Because here's the thing: I haven't watched the latest series, but I thought the Creepshow TV series was tremendous.
Oh, was it good? Was it good? I've not. It's on Shudder, right?
I thought you had Shudder.
I do. I've just not seen it. Shudder's this weird app that I know I have and I know I pay for every month, but I don't use it for some fucking reason.
Me and Chelsea had it for a bit, and it's great. I'm having to get it back, but like, get it alone for Creepshow.
Okay, I'm a wanky dickhead.
Creepshow's amazing. It's so good.
Okay. Well, I'm here for it. I'm here for it because I do want to. I want that. But what I really, really want, to channel the Spice Girls, what I really, really want, is a sequel to Trick or Treat. That's all I want. Like, why have we not?
That was happening and nothing's come of it. Where is it?
It's Trick or Treat sequel.
Oh, before we get that, original Creepshow film. What is the best element of that film? You think
the best short?
No, not even the best short. It's just the best part of that. What do you think is the best part of that? Like, could be
Leslie Nielsen. You actually what you were going to say? Leslie Nielsen. That's the best. It's his best performance. It's fully his best performance. It's fucking staggering.
Here's the thing, sport fans. So Leslie Nielsen's career, he was a serious actor. Didn't get a lot of parts. Then did obviously Airplane, became the biggest comedy actor, and that's all people saw him as.
Yeah.
He's an amazing villain in Creepshow.
Like, I've never been more scared.
Legit terrifying.
Yeah, I would probably put him in my top 20 scariest villains, and just for that 20-minute short. Like, it's fucking staggering how good it is. And that's probably my favorite. The Crate. I really enjoyed the Crate one with the weird monkey in the crate.
The whole film's great.
The whole film's not great because Stephen King had one in there. I don't know if you remember it. Oh, that was a beautiful moment. I want to fully appreciate that moment.
This is why we should, if I was
have a horror
your
podcast?
way inclined, we'd be married.
I'm just adding more podcasts, but if we ever want to do a full horror podcast, we clearly have a shit ton to talk about.
It's just housemates.
Halloween Kills. Halloween Kills is it's a middle film. It's a film that makes
again, I think we said at the time, it's not the worst, and in the series, and that's the best you can give it.
I put it in my because I've got an official ranking. It's about 4th worst on my ranking, right before Zombie 2, 6 and 5, and I probably put Kills right after that. And that might be being
fair. Again, it's not the worst in the series, but it's not the best. But yeah, I mean, like we're saying, it's again, I mean, to try and wrap it up a bit. Good ideas, like I think, and see if you can remember this, because the whole point of this one, it's a brand new trilogy, even though it shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
I think they should have saved the idea of the town hunting them for the last one. And that's how they could end it. Because I love that element because it was a bit like a throwback to the Universal Monster movies. It was like the villagers chasing Frankenstein.
Yeah.
I think, because, again, spoilers, then in this film sees the town people get Michael and kick the shit out of them.
That's honestly embarrassing.
And you know what? That would have been a great ending if that was the conclusion.
Yeah.
But then he gets up and he fucking kills everyone, and he's surrounded by about 20, 30 people. It's like, how did you guys get fucked up?
I think at this point they all have a death wish and they're wanting this. Maybe they're turned on by it. Maybe they're into it. But it's embarrassing, and it does this weird I'm hoping Ghostbusters Afterlife doesn't fall into this trap where it brings back nostalgia for no reason or no purpose. because it's filled with that. They bring back Tommy, they bring back fucking Nurse Marion, they bring back all of these characters from the original series, and does nothing.
Yeah.
Marion just dies. Is it Marion or Marion? Yeah,
the nurse.
She just dies without even much of a fight, really. They bring back, is it Lindsay? The little girl? I think it is.
I want to say is it Tommy
Tommy's
Doyle?
The guy. Tommy Doyle's the guy. He's the one they do the most with. They actually they do use Tommy at the least.
And that actor who plays him is the guy from Breakfast Club, right?
Yes. Yeah. But again, it's nostalgia bait for the sake of it. You've got the Halloween 3 Silver Shamrock masks in there for no reason other than, hey, look, it's a callback to that film that we retconned. Okay.
Which they did in the last film, but it was a lot more subtle and fun.
Right. It's just, you're right. It's not the word. I enjoyed it because we were laughing at it. We were having a really fun time laughing our asses off at it. But I don't know if I would ever watch it again or even recommend it as a watch. Probably not.
No.
If you're drunk and it accidentally comes on TV and you can't find the remote, then fine, maybe.
Yeah. Because you brought up, I've made myself quite sad about the new Ghostbusters film. Well, you obviously know that I'm a diehard fan of Ghostbusters.
You are the biggest Ghostbuster fan I know.
Yeah.
I'll put that out there. The biggest one.
I was in forbidden spoilers again for this bit. Because I knew they would get the original cast back for this film, but I wasn't sure what capacity. When Forbidden Planet the other day, they had the brand new series of Ghostbusters action figures, and it's for the new film, and it showed Venkman, Zedmore, and it showed the OG in uniforms looking old, and I was like, okay, so that's gonna fucking happen. And to be fair, like the newest teaser spoiled that anyway.
I've not seen.
Again, we've talked about this before. Trailers ruin films.
But can this be a whole segment? Because I've not seen that Ghostbusters one yet, and I'm deliberately not. I'm trying my best to avoid it because I don't want that. I mean, you just ruined it for me, you dickhead. But thank you, you piece of shit. For me, it's Scream. It's Scream.
Oh, the newest one?
Scream 5.
Okay.
And I don't think it ruins anything explicitly. Have you seen the trailer for this?
Yes, I've seen one of them.
I don't think it ruins anything explicitly, other than the whole fucking opening scene.
Got my boy David Arquette back in, former WCW champion.
Yeah, boy. No, other than it just shows you the whole first scene. Like I don't know what your kind of appreciation of Ghostbusters and your love of that. That extends for me to the original Scream. That was my first horror film, my first proper horror film. And there was just something so captivating about it. Like Neve Campbell, Sydney's was my first final girl, so seeing her back. But there is something so pure and just Wes's absolute masterstroke. Like, say what you want about Wes's later films. He was in the 90s when he was doing Freddy fucking what's the one he comes
New
back?
Nightmare.
New Nightmare. He was at like prime meta, and having the Drew Barrymore top billed actress fake out is I think maybe the most genius moment in modern horror, like at least 90s onwards horror. That's the best. Sure. It's wonderful. And the trailer shows you the whole opening scene. It shows the girl pretty much fucking die. I'm sick of trailers doing this to me. And Spider-Man's a big fucking culprit as well. I can talk about that all fucking day. And Green Goblin's on the poster. Woo!
Again, spoiler for Spider-Man. If you still think Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are going to show up, you're an idiot.
You're a fucking idiot.
You're an idiot.
Yeah, even Tom,
they're there.
Tom Holland's like saying, "Oh yeah, they're definitely not in it," but it's just because Disney would fucking
Andrew
decap them
Garfield can go on record all he wants, says I'm not in that. You're in it.
Yeah,
we know what's happening.
And I do miss, and it's almost like I'm nostalgic for a time period where trailers would give you the kind of cliff notes of the plot and nothing else. I don't want to see spoilers. I want to see zero spoilers in my trailers, for the love of gods. I don't know if you remember this, the most egregious trailer spoiler. Did you ever see the trailer for... You're a big Terminator fan, aren't you?
Yeah, for sure. First two, absolutely.
So Terminator Genesis, the like fifth one with Amelia, the girl from...
yes, it is, which is the last one I saw.
I don't know if you remember the trailer for that, but like the big plot twist, the big reveal is that John Connor's actually is like a future Terminator. That his
they ruined it.
They show that in the trailer, and it's the big twist of the movie. It would be like watching a trailer for The Sixth Sense and having fucking Haley Joel Osment saying, "I see dead people," and then Bruce Willis like, "Well, I'm a dead person."
It'd be like showing the trailer for Saw, and he gets
it's
in the trailer, and it's like, oh well,
it's so
who cares? Okay,
like I don't know whether it's like and I'm going to be insulting as fuck to our younger generation for a second. I don't know whether it's like an attention span thing. Like I don't know whether like you need this in order to think that this is worth your time, because cinema is potentially independent cinema is dying. Like blockbusters don't seem to be, so I don't know why blockbusters are doing it. But it infuriates me. But I wonder whether or not we're more obsessed with trailer talk and we're more obsessed with, oh, what's the new reveal? Like the actual movie. I think they're more interested in the new trailers than the actual fucking movies themselves half the time.
I just think it's the common trend for a lot of things where they think the Monday public audience is just really dumb.
Yeah. They got to spell it out.
They feel like if we have to advertise a film now, we have to basically show a miniature version of that film before we get to the actual long version.
Yeah.
It's very rare now you'll see a film trailer and you'll watch it and go, you know what? I really want to see that, and I still haven't got a fucking clue what's happening. Most film trailers now, you're like, okay, well, I've basically seen what's going to happen. I can guess what's going to fucking happen.
Yeah.
I mean, a handful still do it. Like, me and Gary talked about last week. I'm really excited for the new Batman film. Don't know what's going to happen in that. They've kept that. Like, there's a few things you can probably guess to, but that it doesn't tell you the whole film, from what I can tell.
Yep. We'll wait until trailer 2 comes out and just shows you that Batman is actually Heath Ledger. No, I don't know how that would.
You mean Joker?
Yeah, that's what I mean. But no, this is it. Like, you're right. Why I'm kind of, I don't know if I want to say I'm getting sick of the big Hollywood blockbuster as a concept. Obviously, we were talking earlier about Dune off mic. I think is rescuing. That's the kind of blockbuster I want to see. And again, I didn't get too much from that as far as the trailer. I don't think it ruined anything. But like, I don't know. I'm just tired. Harry's going to hate me if he hears this podcast, but I don't even know if I care about Spider-Man that much anymore.
Okay, well, here's what I was going to say. It must feel very freeing to you to do film talk. Because the only time these films will come up is when we're with Harry doing picnics. And Harry, we love you.
We do.
But sometimes I think you're a bit blinded by your love of Marvel.
He will never admit it, and he'll say the same about me. You're just blinded by your love of horror, which I probably am. That's fine.
True.
It's a good.
We all are, you know.
We all have our biases. But was Shang-Chi really that good? Or was it just Iron Man, but like martial arts now? Or was it's just the same scale? And it's why he's like begging us to see Eternals. Are you excited to see Eternals?
Dude, like I'm a huge comic book fan, and I understand where Harry's coming from. Even I'm bored with Marvel.
They just need to do, and he does always bring up the point that I do think most of the TV shows are able to do something a little bit more interesting. They're able to.
Oh, Loki!
Yeah,
was
tremendous, phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal.
Amazing.
But the films are just copy and paste jobs at this point, and I defy you. And when I came out of Shang-Chi, I said to him, "Look, it's great, it's fun, and it's colorful, and it's fast, and it's fine." But it's the exact same movie I've seen 5, 6, 7, 8 times now. Like I need something more, and I do think audiences are picking up on that. Like you read the narrative of Eternals, and I know there's this whole thing going on where it's almost like Eternals is post-criticism because of its diversity. And I do actually want to comment on that because just because it's diverse doesn't mean it's good. That's almost a counterproductive angle to look at it from.
Yeah,
we want diversity. That's amazing, but it's
the only good thing I can say that came out of it. Again, we brought us up last week. Disney refusing to edit the film for countries that aren't about the gay lifestyle,
the gay kiss,
aren't about this.
All of this. Well, how could you not be all about this?
Right. So that's the one cool thing about it. But then I try not to let reviews dictate my opinion because again, it's subjective.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But then isn't it like the lowest rated
it's like 50 something percent, which I just
think that screams. And even then, like, okay, controversial take. Even though the Marvel TV things are great, DC's doing it better. Have you seen Doom Patrol?
I've not, but I've heard nothing but good things. Ryan,
Doom Patrol's fucking sick.
Yeah, we should have had Ryan on the pod because when I'm out the house, I'm pretty sure he's watched Doom Patrol. I'm pretty sure he's watched. What was the other big one that they had out recently? Fuck. Yeah, but anyway, he was like,
Doom Patrol's sick.
Doom Patrol is sick. Yeah,
it's got Brendan Fraser.
Like what more? What more do you need? It's brought Brendan back to us.
And to be fair, I'm a big fan of the thing. I think you would love it for the fact there's a character called Danny, and if anyone's listening to this knows who it is and knows this. Liam will appreciate it.
I appreciate Danny.
I would try and describe it, but I'd do a fucking terrible job.
You would not do justice. I'm going to Google Danny
so,
after this.
Yeah. Okay. Honestly, Google afterwards, and I'll show you. I've got, if anyone's a fan of comics, read Jared Way. That's My Chemical Romance's Jared Way.
Hello.
Run with Doom Patrol. It's fucking tremendous.
Good on you, Jared Way. Good on you. I like it. You get a guy who can do both.
Can we say like Jared Way? looks like a complete comic book nerd right now with a dad bod, and I'm all for it.
Mate,
if I was this, yeah.
I'd be in
I
that. He's
would.
like I think he's hit his prime. And you are there's that weird like thing where I did read a lot of comments where he's fat now, he's big now. Like he's the happiest he's ever looked. You need to leave him the fuck alone. He looks fucking wonderful.
Man eats pizza
right?
and writes fucking Umbrella Academy.
He's having the best time.
Books. He's living his best life.
Yeah, he really is. Basically, to sum up all of that shit, I've started like plugging my ears when I'm in the. I must look like an idiot and like closing my eyes when I'm at the cinema for the trailers. I'm like, Ryan, tell me when it's over. I ruined it for myself for Scream, and I'm kicking myself. It doesn't spoil too much, but it spoils enough for me to be annoyed. But yeah, Spider-Man, like you're right. This Marvel thing, they need to shake it up, and I'm wondering maybe Spider-Man will be the one. But then they talk about him like, oh, it's like Spider-Man's Endgame. I'm like, okay, so it's going to be one of the super serious ones, like fucking Winter Soldier or all the Captain America ones. You've kind of got two camps. You've got the colorful, zany ones like Guardians, like Doctor Strange, like Shang-Chi, and you've got the super serious spy films. But they've kind of pissed me off as well. I will say I'm fully in the pissed off camp. With Marvel at the minute because of how they're starting to treat their directors. Specifically, did you hear about what happened to the woman on Black Widow, the woman who directed Black Widow?
No.
She just got her action scenes taken away from it because she wanted to do them a lot more espionage, a lot more grounded, realistic.
Which is what you want with a spy film.
So they got a second unit director to come in and do the film, the rest of the film for her. She got most of the film taken off her, the action scenes taken off her.
Listeners, you want to know a good spy film and novel?
Spy High.
Proper
Sky High, anyway.
Proper espionage. Read
I'm excited.
The Spy That Came In From the Cold.
Okay. No, you tell me about this. Yeah, you tell me about this.
Read it recently. One of my favorite books, and the film's really good.
Ooh,
Very classic British cinema.
Who's in the film? Who's do you remember?
I have to look it up.
Fine. I'm not.
I can lend you the Blu-ray. It's up there.
I will always borrow. I'm lending you one. You'll Alan. We'll do a trade. We'll do a swapsies.
See, because the whole thing about The Spy Came From the Cold is it's like proper, because it's set in the Cold War, proper espionage, not like Mission Impossible or Bond. Yeah. It's about like lie, deceit,
intel.
It's so gripping. Like I'd say read the book over the film, but the film is still really fucking good.
I'm wondering if I like
so
this.
Good.
I didn't rate. I don't know if you've seen it. I didn't rate Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy very much, though. I'm not sure whether it's too.
It's the same guy who wrote that.
Okay,
but I've not read Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. But honestly, Spy Came From the Cold.
I trust you implicitly.
Amazing.
We after that Leslie Nielsen thing, I'm never doubting you again for anything. You can tell me Spider-Man 3 is the worst film ever, and I'll believe you.
You won't believe me saying
no. It's my favorite movie.
You're a liar.
It's just come on Netflix, and it's getting its resurgence. It's back in the discussion as an underrated masterpiece.
Okay,
we're not doing
transitioning. Another wrestler.
Yeah, boy.
For one of the big AEW guys.
Bring it.
John Moxley. And I think this one could be. I don't know where this could go. But I want to know.
I'm going to do a number. I'm just going to do a number. All right, you yeah, that's a 10. That's my dream daddy right there. That's my absolute dream daddy. Are you serious? That's my perfect man. That's literally my perfect man. He's gorgeous. I want him. He's got. I like a little bit, like not flab, but I like a little bit of meat. I like my meat raw. And
when he hits,
not lean.
He hits hard.
Oh, he's beautiful.
Very fucking hard.
Again, you've got that shaved head. You've got the beards. That's I get tingles. That's a 10. That might be rivaling the last guy. Who's my other 10? Yeah,
Cesaro was number 10.
Wait, okay. They're quite different. They're both the bald guys, but they
want to see Moxley in an eye patch?
Absolutely. Hello. Oh, he's cute as fuck. No, he's absolutely adorable. Are you serious? I didn't realize there were this many hot men in wrestling. Like I knew wrestling had hot men, but not this many.
I think we're gonna do. I'm definitely gonna get you on for a lot more episodes, and I think the next one you'll be like, you'll be wearing a wrestling t-shirt, and I'll be like, yeah.
Can I just have my own special?
We got Liam's card into wrestling. He's a licensed member. It's fine.
I want my own special section where I just rank the hot guys. I think at the end of the pod, where I'm like, right, this is Liam's hot guy corner, and I just say how hot they were the entire time.
Praise last one for this episode because I want to do this one because he is one of my all-time favorites at the moment.
Okay.
He fucking destroy. Actually, hang on, I've got two.
Oh, okay.
This one, he's one of my all-time favorites. He fucking destroys people at the moment. He's like one of the best wrestlers on the planet. But I want to
gauge what the
I just want to see
what the vein. Yeah, go on.
He's Austrian.
Okay, we like Austrians. Yeah,
he's a beast.
So beast.
But he's got a bit of a
from the east.
No. You see him. He's got a bit of a seriousness about him.
Okay. I'm sorry, that's not going to cut the. That's not.
I will show you a match featuring. So this is Walter, by the way, or Volta.
I'm slightly worried it's the face that he's making, though. That's kind of put me off a little bit because he looks like he's smelling his own farts in that picture.
Okay, right. Well, here's the thing. It's like you're a guy like my best friend and the guy we knew at school. Oliver said he does look like a giant baby.
That's what's put me off. Yeah,
I will show you highlights from a match featuring him later on.
Okay,
during recording. And you'll probably be like, "Yes, Daddy."
Okay, no, I'm here for that. I just, the face has put me off a bit. He's like, he's sniffing his own farts and that. But I'm here for it. Bring it on.
And the last one,
you better finish good.
I think this will be a recurring segment because this is fun.
Liam talks about hot guys in wrestling.
Yeah, Liam rating wrestling guys. This is Tommaso Ciampa.
Ooh. That's 10. That's a big. I'm just like, I think I must have been like born upside down because I love as much hair as possible from the neck down, like the chin down, and as much little as possible. Like flip it. I just love it. I love a big beard. I love little. Oh, he's beautiful. He's beautiful. He's a beautiful man.
Well,
this is it. I've clearly got some daddy issues because he's a little bit older than me. But you know,
I want to see him looking very intense and
always.
Lighting. Oh yeah.
Holy shit! That's what I want. That's what I need.
There you go.
You finished.
You want him looking like this,
just looking over you, sweat dripping
before he's about to mount you.
I would. Yeah, I don't know what I'd do. I think I'd die happy right then and there. Mate, you've brought me some. There've been very few misses. Like if there's been a miss, it's like
I would say I'm doing well because I didn't get anything below a 5.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's fair. Yeah. Which is good. Good numbers. Right. Good numbers. Professional.
Okay, so again, rounding off this episode, it's the return. A LADbible Bashing.
I'm so excited.
And I love this because I want to build a campaign of how terrible and ghastly LADbible become. And again, like we discussed last week, I know Gary didn't have kind words to say about them. They used to be decent.
We literally, we had a break and we were chatting about, because I remember them being funny. I remember the whole point was like, did you see that funny meme? It was usually memes. It started off as a meme account.
But then they became like quite good with like serious news. They felt like they were trying to be something legitimate.
Yeah.
Now it's clear. It's just like, okay, well, it's only clickbait that's getting us money. Let's just fucking do that.
Yeah.
So this week
in the news,
we have got terrifying ultra-rich chimp shows why we should pray Planet of the Apes never happens. And I'm going to show you, Liam, before I do that. Just look at the Facebook header.
Okay, I'm going to give that one a 10 out of 10. Sorry. Oh, you are fucking this.
Fuck this. Okay,
you are fucking
the Facebook header or tag is basically the absolutely jacked, hairless alpha male chimp squared off against another animal. And you know, it's the Facebook emoji where it looks at the screen picture. It's
God, no!
It's that.
So two animals fight and it's news. 2 animals at a zoo.
Not even 2 animals. Like, okay, I'm gonna show you the picture now.
It's
just one jacked ape.
And in all fairness, he is pretty jacked. But oh no, I don't know how. I haven't fully processed my emotions yet because I'm furious.
Maybe I'll just read the article. I've already seen the first heading. So, shocking footage of a chimpanzee brawl that broke out in an enclosure in Tyrecross Zoo back in 2016. So it's a fucking old video as well.
It's not news anymore. That ape's probably dead.
Has resurfaced. Okay, no, it didn't resurface. You pay people to fucking look for this.
That's your job. It's like, called a job.
Find us clickbait and we'll pay you. If you wrote this article and you want to be a journalist, what are you doing? It's
almost as if like the news is being run by You've Been Framed or like Funniest Home Videos. It's like, we just need a 30-second clip of something funny and we'll make a news story about everyone dying and we being scared of the future.
Is Jeremy Beadle still alive?
I hope not. I really do. I'm sorry. If he's listening,
sorry, Beadle.
Sorry.
Yeah. Resurfaced,
quote unquote,
showing the alpha male displaying his dominant position in the community's hierarchy. Take a look below.
Do we have to?
I mean, he does look hench. I'll get a proper picture, but there we go.
He's a big boy.
So henchy's dench.
You're gonna make me watch the video, aren't you?
I'll spare you.
I mean, you can't,
because you can see the picture. Like, what else do you want to see?
Also, it's just two monkeys fighting. It's not news.
Well, there we go. Like, newsflash: monkeys are ripped. Like, even like a miniature monkey could rip your face off.
Yeah, well,
they're vicious bastards.
Man, they're awful.
Here's one thing I hate. It's like people are like, oh, monkeys are cute. I'd want them as a pet. No.
You do not want a monkey as a pet.
You go to sleep at night and wake up the next morning with no face.
You do not want a monkey as a pet.
No.
Do not get a monkey as a pet.
Vicious.
First of all, it's cruel as fuck. It does not belong in a house or a garden for that fucking matter. I also just love the headline making us wish that Planet of the Apes never... I know all those people who are dying for Planet of the Apes to happen. Now, after seeing this, though, this has changed my mind. I don't want it to happen anymore. I want to know the people who read this and think, fuck, there's a monkey out there that could take over us all. They're just keeping themselves awake at night thinking about this hench monkey that's plotting its world dominance.
Fucking hell, LADbible's got a point here.
Ooh.
Said no one ever.
Oh, God.
Carrying on. Several of the chimps who were visibly hairless.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
Bound chicken down.
Someone shaved a monkey. Were seen displaying rippling waves of intimidating muscle.
Why is this
otherwise hidden beneath due to them suffering from the hair loss condition? Alopecia.
Right, before you go any further, why is this article making the monkey sound sexy as fuck? Rippling muscles.
LADbible, more like lad gay.
Oh, more like fuck Bible, am I right? Oh, monkey fuck Bible. They should rebrand a monkey fuck Bible. That's what I'm putting out there in the world right now.
It gets better. The video starts by showing an ultra ripped male chimp with a bulbous protrusion on his neck eating grass in an enclosure.
Heaven forbid he's eating grass in an enclosure. Whatever will we do? I don't know how to respond to this.
The scene is quick to heat up when he screeches across the enclosure to swing up onto a series of ropes. Other chimps join the fray to create two factions facing off, facing each other off from opposite sides of the cage. They menace each other by peeling back their lips to show their sharp teeth.
So monkeys act like monkeys and it's news. Monkeys do monkey things and that's news. I want to know the comment. Can you look at the comments? Are there any really stupid fucking comments?
Okay, well, I'll get up the Facebook thing. So do you know on Facebook you can see like the three most reactions?
Yeah.
One of them is a laughing face.
Understandable.
There we go.
Which I think, because it's hilariously bad. I just want to know if anyone's genuinely worried about the monkey apocalypse coming.
No.
What should just be Andy Serkis in a fucking suit? So what's this whole thing? It's just Andy Serkis in a green suit.
So some of the top comments is like, bodybuilders thinking where he gets his protein from, a laughing face.
Lol.
Waiting for jealous ones to put steroids.
Okay, that's kind of funny.
Waiting for Jake or Logan Paul to fight on pay-per-view. That's quite good.
That's not bad.
Well done.
It's not bad. It's not bad. You're doing well.
Give yourself a Milky Bar. This Gone, spelled Gon, be a good episode of Joe Rogan.
Okay.
If you spelled Gone right, I'd give you a better grade.
Give him a wide berth.
Definitely on the juice with a syringe.
So at least the comments are aware that it's dumb, I guess. At least we haven't fully sunk into idiocracy just yet. We've got a few more years. We're getting there. What happened to them? Who hurt LADbible? Who hurt you, LADbible? I'm genuinely asking.
I mean, all I can say is, LADbible, we're coming for you.
I'm also coming for you. How long do we need to point for?
Till it's awkward. Keep it going. Make it weird.
It's already weird.
Oh,
I felt weird. I felt weird taking my hand away there and putting it here. Right.
While it's here, Leo,
on the genitals.
Why don't you plug your shit?
Okay, hold on, I'm plugged now. Bad Taste Birds, we are actually, again, weird enough, talking about this, we are putting out our last episode of season 1 at the end of November, which is our Manos, the Hands of Fates episode. We have ended on a high note, a movie I know you'd fucking love, so I need to get you on that at some point. That's on Bad Taste Buds Pod on Instagram and Twitter, and Bad Taste Buds Pod on Facebook. And you just search Bad Taste Buds Podcast or Bad Taste Buds, on any podcast streaming service to find us. Then we're taking a break, and we will be back with season 2 in January. But do check us out. We've got a good little season 1 going for you there. Thank you, man. Thank you. Boosh.
And then if you want to follow this podcast,
look at that.
Young Men Yellow Clouds, Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. Young Men Yellow Clouds, all one word, Instagram. If you want to find me for some wrestling chatter, it's the Bear Club Podcast, Facebook and YouTube, Bear Club Pod, Instagram, Bear Hug Club, spaced out on Twitter. And for both of these wonderful podcasts, that's Bear Hug Club. bearhugpod.wixsite.com. Had a few drinks.
Don't worry, I don't know any of the names of my podcasts.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Bear Hug Pod. Fuck's sake. bearhugpod.wixsite.com/bearhugclouds. But
it's on there. Read it. Oh wait,
I'm trying to read.
No, yeah, okay.
I never learned how to read. But yeah. Thank you again, Liam.
Oh man, thank you for having me. I wouldn't leave if it was up to me.
But Leslie Nielsen.
Oh, honestly, my favorite. I think that's what highlight of the year. Honestly, buddy. I could kiss you right now. It's just a beautiful moment.
We really good.
Really good.
We're gonna log off and do that now.
Bye.